We recording. I guess I'll do a quick introduction. Yo, it's your boy Al. This is the fifth installment to my annual projects that I do in the beginning of the year. I'm sitting here with my boy Matt, Dev, Raph, and Keys. I mean, y'all can introduce yourselves. My fault. I didn't even do that. Y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves.
What's up, man? My name is Matt Rodriguez. Just chilling, kicking it with my boy Al, and all the other guests here, man. I just hope for a great conversation, you know?
What's going on? It's your boy.
My fault.
What's going on? This your boy Dev, kicking it with Al, ready to chop it up.
It's good, y'all. It's Raph. Over here to do this quick little interview. Should be a good session. Show off everybody's talents, skills, how our opinion on things are.
What's up, y'all? It's Keys. We chilling with Al.
Everybody
Some good vibes. Everybody said it was good, but yeah, man, we here for Al, man.
Word up,
yeah,
so
good.
So yeah, all right. So I guess we just start off. So the question that we start off with, that I think is an important question, is there a such thing as truth?
Oh, we just popping it off deep, huh?
Yeah.
That's how you want to start off? Damn.
Is there such thing as truth? Like, is there truth? So for example, we say like, you know, I have my own truth, you have your own truth, or, you know, that is this, that is this, this is that, this is that. Is there such thing as truth?
I mean, I feel like from that point of view, you can't really call it truth because you have your own opinions,
Right.
and I have my own opinions, and it also depends on how the way people think. Like he could look at a situation a different way than how I look at it, just to, you know, kind of get past it and get over that hurdle. But that's what I'm trying to say. With the truth is really what your heart feels. That's where it has to go. Your heart and your mind has to go together, and that's how you're gonna feel right.
I agree with that, but at the same time, the truth is the truth. Like, it is like both. It could be opinionated and it could be off past experience that you dealt with, but at the same time, if you put the facts on the table, that's the truth as well. That's how I look at it.
It depends
That's
on
the
the
truth.
situation.
That's exactly that's the
That's
truth.
the truth.
That's the truth.
So truth can have a truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it depends on, like he said, on past experiences, everything you go through in life, you know, that could kind of base how you grow up, pretty much how you live your everyday life, and just how, you know, it could build, you know, strengths, it could build weaknesses, you know, it depends on how everyone, you know, relates that in their own life, I feel like, and, you know, that's where I feel truth, you know, starts from, is your life experience, you know, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, how about this? Here's a better question. So what defines a truth? Like, what makes something true?
All right.
It
Example.
has to be a fact.
Yeah, it has to
Okay,
be a
has to be a
fact.
fact.
So example, you get caught cheating.
Okay.
Off rip, you get caught cheating. That's the truth. When she catches you, that's the truth. You can't, oh, nah, that wasn't me. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You can't finesse that. You can't finesse that if you bluntly just getting caught cheating.
Right.
You feel me? So, yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of different situations, different scenarios as well. So, yeah, that's like the easiest one I can think
So
of
a
right
fact,
now.
or like, so a fact and an experience, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a
Does
fact.
that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes
Okay.
sense. Anybody else? Like, what defines? So, what makes it a truth? Because y'all said, okay, it's your experience, what you've seen, what you've endured, your heart, what you like. So, what defines it? Is it, or it doesn't have a definition? Does truth have a definition?
I do think it does. I feel like truth is like whenever you can't do something about it anymore, that's the truth. For example,
That's good.
you go in an accident and it's just there. Like, that's the truth. You can't change it. It happened already. Once it happened, that means it's already the truth. Like, you kind of just have to go on, but that's the truth.
That's actually really good.
I got a question though. Can you lie about the truth?
Yeah.
You can't. It's the truth.
That's a really good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Can you lie? Cause
I think you can. I think you can lie about the truth. I think people lie about the truth all the time.
People get away with it.
Is that because they're
That's
afraid
called a
of the
lie.
actual
Yeah,
truth?
It's not a truth.
That's
no more.
good.
And there's
I'm
not a
sorry.
truth no more.
It's a lie.
When people lie about the truth, is it because they're afraid of the truth?
It's because they're afraid of the truth and they're afraid what's going to
They're trying to hide
happen
from
after they
something.
tell the truth.
But then
That's
that's where you cross the line where it's not a truth anymore.
True.
It's a lie. It's a
Well,
lie.
just because someone lies,
Not
does it
point.
mean does it threatens the truth? I don't think it
I don't
threatens
even
the
think
truth.
it touches the word threaten. You
also-
just cross the line and it's a lie.
I don't think because look about it. If my girl caught me cheating and I lie about that truth, it don't change the fact that I cheated. Like,
It's
you know what I'm
true.
saying? So like technically that's true.
That's very
So it's like I don't think someone's lying threatens the truth. I think like what you said, like it's like why people lie about the truth because they're afraid to face what comes because of that truth. Like I think that's the reality of that truth, and I think that's actually really good. So are we? So for example, can people have their own truth?
Yeah, because then it feeds into like religion.
Okay, religion, but what else? Like
Well,
what?
beliefs.
Circumstances. Like
Circumstances.
what they mostly do in their life.
Mhm.
Because I know, like for example, like somebody can get in a lot of trouble, and then they tell some other person, "Yo, it's good to get in trouble," or even though that sounds very, very bad, but
So like in their reality, it's like it's okay.
that's their norm.
Right, that's their norm.
That's their norm is trouble, and that's their truth. But somebody else, you could bring somebody else who does positive things such as like create and stuff like that, and then bring them to like another person's norm, and they'll be like, "Yo, that's not the truth. That's not the way you should look at life." But who am I to tell you what is your truth and your destiny?
That's good because I had one of my boys. He was, you know, we're two different people. You know what I mean? But we've been friends for about 4 or 5 years, and you know, he was this kid. You know, he started off good. You know, was a high school athlete, whatever, and you know, he starts, you know, pushing coke, pushing weight and stuff, and I'm like, yo. Like, you need to chill, man. Like, I had to sit down with him and tell him, because he's a little younger than me, so I had to tell him, like, you need to chill, bro. And pretty much, you know, something that he said to me, like, just stuck to me. He was like, listen, man, we have 2 different lives. We have 2 different paths, you know? And I was like, you know what, man? You're 100% right. We do. You do what you got to do. I do what I got to do. I'm going to be here for you, feel me? But, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you feel that's what's best for you, then that's your truth. You know what I mean? That's what ultimately you want to do in life, then that's it, so be it. You know what I mean? All I could do is try to help you, you know?
I think that stems into a whole nother thing. So let's say someone says, okay, that's their truth. If, let's say, okay, how about this? Can their truth be wrong?
It can be.
Like, for example, is what he's doing okay?
And that's the thing, in the world's eyes, it's
Right.
not okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the law's eyes, it's not okay. You know,
In his eyes.
in his eyes, he's trying to make money. He's trying to do something to support himself, rather than getting a 9 to 5, rather than doing what normally we would do. You know what I mean? What how do you say, the world will tell you to do? You know, go to
Right.
school, do it right. You know what I mean?
Right.
In his eyes, this is what he knows. This is what he's been doing, and this is what he's going to continue to do. You know, so. That's, you know what I mean? It's hard when someone's so blinded by, you know, what they see in, whether it's music or television or whatever it is that's influencing him. You know, it's hard to break that chain and that cycle. You know,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's
It also kind of like to piggyback what he was saying and everything like that. It's just like you can't tell nobody like what's right and what's wrong, because in the world's eyes, what's doing right is going to school, getting a job, and then working at 9 to 5 just to survive, and your family to survive. But at the same time, you gotta look at all these actors, actresses, rappers, musicians, and stuff like that. Like, they took risks. They took like the not so truthful route that everybody's been taught, and like decided, I'm gonna do this for myself because this is what I feel more comfortable with. And look, they turned out to be successful.
But
So-
those people, like, that's what I've been saying. Like, you're 100% right. But those people, they also have goals and ambitions. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
They're in the studio every
And
day.
a plan.
They have a plan ahead, other than, yeah, all right, they're trying to make extra money by, you know, doing whatever, their hustle, but they have a plan and purpose. They're in the studio grinding it out. They're, you know, whatever it is, playing sports, they're in the gym, whatever it is, you know what I mean? They have that routine, and that's what this kid is missing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He has no alternative, you know. So he's just, you know, he's pushing, and that's it. You know, there's nothing else. So I can understand, like, bro, you're doing that to make some money, but if you have other goals and dreams and ambitions, that's fine, man. I'll support you in that. But there's nothing else to bounce off, you know, whatever he's doing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm just trying to say. You know, it's just you have to have other things, like you said. You have to try to be something in life. You know, so.
And like so if my experience has led me to, let's say, sell drugs or to be in a position where I have to make a living for myself that may be illegal. If technically it's illegal, is it safe to say that it's wrong, regardless of what I think I should be doing or my truth? Isn't it safe to say that it's wrong?
I mean, listen. Some people, they live in certain circumstances where they got to do what they got to do. You know what I mean? And I grew up around that. I have family that's like that, and I completely understand. You know what I mean? I had to do that. You know what I mean? So I understand that point, but then I also understand the point of trying to live right, trying to change trying to change yourself and the things you used to do in your past. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? I don't care, you know, if you've been locked up, whatever it is, that's in the past, you know what I mean? But if you're continuing that cycle, then that's where the problem is, you know what I mean? It's just continuing the same thing over and over again, rather than shifting off into a different direction, you know? That's how I feel, you know? And when I was locked up, man, so, you know what I mean? When I was locked up, I made a decision, I'm gonna change, man. I lost almost 80 pounds, I was 260 pounds, I weigh 170 now, and that was something went off in my mind when I was locked up. I was like, listen, man, I can't be doing this anymore. But someone else would have been like, this is all I know. Feel me? I know the three hots in a cot. That's all I know, man. You know what I mean? This is my lifestyle, and I'm gonna continue to do this. So that's where those paths kind of shift. You know what I mean? In certain people's minds, you know. It's crazy, you know. Everyone's different, you know.
I feel as if like that nature versus nurture, that definitely comes in fact too, because it's just like, it's what you see growing up, and just like, all right, I'm used to this. This is like my norm. Like there's no break in the cycle, because like if I seen that person become successful off doing something bad, I'm gonna think that's good. So I'm just gonna continue on repeating the cycle. I'm gonna try to, and that's when that catch-up game comes into factor too, because I want to be just as good as that person or even better. So they put that competitive aspect in it, and where it's just like, this is all I know. Somebody try to tell me different. Nah, you wrong. But
you don't want to hear nothing else.
You don't want to hear nothing else.
And then when we say somebody's wrong, or we say, like you said, you saw that what they were doing was bad. Like when you make that call, are you saying that their truth is wrong?
I feel as if their truth could be altered.
Like what you mean? Explain.
Like, so it's like they're doing such bad things, but if you're trying to help somebody, you want to try to help them, like show them like, yo, listen, there's two paths to this type of situation. You see that you're going to end up here, or you can stop what you're doing and then try to pick up or invest the money that you are making illegally into something positive.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then change the route. And I'm like, listen, there's different ways you can strategize from it, but don't just sit there and think this is all that's out there and that's all the world's going to give you. So that's why I feel as if like their truth is not completely wrong, but at the same time, it's just like it could be altered, just like a paper. It could be altered.
Like there's truth in what they're doing, but not the right way.
Not the right way, exactly.
But I feel like from that point though, how he's looking at it is like, when it comes to drugs and you do it like that, it's basically you're looking at it from the point of view of a businessman. That means there's no violence, there's no guns involved.
We're watching too much.
Because we don't know
You're just trying to make this money just so you can invest it into something else that's gonna do you good.
Yeah.
That's basically where he's looking at.
But the other person isn't thinking like that.
You don't know exactly where like the person's coming from. Why is he doing that? So like, he probably selling drugs to provide for his family. He have nothing else to do. That could be his truth.
And it's the best way. It's the fastest way for you to keep up with whatever the bills are coming. You know.
So here's the question: is selling drugs right or wrong?
Man, you don't want to touch topics with this.
We're not gonna stay on this topic long, but but let's leave it at that. Yeah, is it wrong or right?
Listen, man, it's wrong. It's wrong.
So
It's wrong at the same
It's
time,
wrong?
but illegal businesses control America.
That's a whole other topic. That was the government.
Because I'm like, yo,
So check it out. Let's leave drug dealing, but we agree that it's wrong. That's what y'all telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government.
So
wrong too.
when you say that it's wrong, we're basically saying that person's truth is wrong, right?
Yeah, the government's truth is wrong too.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. All right. Listen straight up.
Just because they say it's right, doesn't mean it's right.
So check this out. If I told you I was 5'2",
Nah,
that's my truth.
No.
that's what you think in your head.
But that's my truth.
We're just gonna look at you crazy, but
Yeah,
I guess
That's
that's fine.
What he said, that's it.
So you look at me crazy, but
Exactly.
you will let me have that as my truth.
Bro,
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna
if you're
support
that
you
stubborn
from
with
your-
it, you might as well.
I'm not gonna support you.
If you come off
Bro, but why would you
like, yo,
wanna be
I'm
5'2"?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I respect you, bro. You got it. You 5'2".
That's it.
But
Yeah.
would
you
would
the
you
biggest
would you
5'2"
not?
I've
Would you
seen.
not like you rock with me, right? Yeah. Would you not be like, yo, Al, like
You 5'2".
you not 5'2",
Yeah,
bro?
I'm like, yo, Al. It's not registering up there. You're not 5'2", bro. Like you a little taller
Or you
than
can
that,
have,
bro.
or you can have another person that look at it like, yo, let me see your license. I know you're not 5'2".
Yeah, come on, you not.
But it'd be like 4'11" dudes that be like, yo, I'm 6 foot. But that's your heart, though. I'm saying that's your heart, though.
But is it true?
That's a good pair of shoes, man.
That's a good pair of shoes. Now remember, on a good day, your height do be changing, it be fluctuating, bro.
Rock
All
the
right,
Timbs.
so check this out. But would you let me leave your presence thinking that I literally was 5'2"?
Nah.
No, and I'm
bashing
6'3".
your
I'm
head.
not letting you
Nah,
off.
We'll let
You
you
gonna
rock
bash
because-
in my head?
because
Nah, bro.
Think about like this. You text a girl, I'm 5'2". You think she's gonna text you back?
Nah, she gonna think I'm crazy. She's like, bro, why are you lying? Like, why you got to lie for?
That's what I want to feel in my heart.
But she don't know you're lying.
So,
It's
so
just over text.
if you want to comfort your heart,
You're not even 5'2".
She not about to ask
check
you
this
how tall
out.
you
He's
are.
telling me,
Like,
you
5'2".
saying if I want to comfort my heart, I can lie to myself?
You're not lying.
I think you can. I think people
Listen,
lie to themselves so they can feel better.
I look in the mirror every day. I'm like, yo, I'm the most handsomest dude alive. Nobody. See, exactly.
Hey, that's true. Hey, that's true. I think you, hey, I think it's true,
I
bro.
gotta have it in my heart. I gotta wake up
Right.
every day and feel confident in myself every day. So if you wake up, you feel like I don't want to be like 6'2". How tall are you? Like 5'11",
6'3".
6'3". My
Man.
fault, brother. You dunking and stuff. but I'm saying, if you want to feel like I don't want to be tall today. All right, cool. You don't gotta be tall today. I'm 5'2". I'm gonna tell everybody I'm 5'2" today.
Is that the truth?
It's not the truth, but
That's the truth.
But if
Okay.
you feel good about it, then
It's your truth.
it's your truth.
Let
like
you
you
rock.
said, I'm gonna just let
So you can have everybody can have their own truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm 5'2",
Nah, you not.
But
so I can't have my own truth.
No. I'm gonna tell you not. I'm like, yo, that's not the truth. But if you was like, yo, I'm 5'2", I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, listen, you're not 5'2", but if you
Once you tell me I'm not, isn't that technically saying I'm wrong?
come on, man. Next person.
Everybody got their own opinions.
Everyone has their own truth. You know, it's
Okay, so everybody. So what if I told y'all, I think that I'm Chinese.
come on, son.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt
you have
it.
Chinese in you.
All right,
Technically, you can.
yeah, I want that.
You can do that.
How about this? I have nobody in my family that's Chinese.
You don't know that.
No, I'm letting you know right now. I'm letting you know right now. Ain't nobody in my
I
family.
mean,
But I
that's
think.
that's almost like sexuality. Like, you know how when someone says like they're bisexual.
Right.
So how do you know that you're bisexual or you were supposed to be born a woman? That's
Yeah,
like
that's
their
the thing
own
that confuses me.
gender wise.
Yeah, yeah.
So you said, how does someone know they were born a woman?
Nah, like, yeah, like,
If you're a
say,
man,
say, like,
you're a
say,
man, how you're born and how you know supposed to know what you're supposed to be if you're thinking you're something else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
See, that means that's their own truth.
Yeah.
In their heart, they feel like there's somebody else
Okay, that's good.
instead of being. a man.
Okay, so what if I said, I think I'm a woman?
I'll ask you why.
Yeah,
why do you feel
exactly.
it? Why do you feel this
Okay, and
way?
I told you one day I woke up
Mm-hmm.
and I
We gotta
personally,
accept it.
You just felt like a woman.
okay, acceptance.
We gotta accept it.
Okay,
No, I'm sorry.
is it true?
I will break it. No, it's not true, man.
We don't
Okay,
know.
why?
I'm like, if, and this is where the part where religion kicks in, where I'm just like, if God wanted you to be a woman, He would have made you a woman. So accept who you are, and face reality.
So is it something wrong with my thinking, or is just
Nah, it's just something that's on your mind, and you just that's the way.
that's
you
my
think.
thinking, bro?
Yeah.
No, in your mind, like, okay, so if I came here and say no,
Had a
bro,
good thinking,
like,
but in your
listen,
mind.
you my homie, I'm coming to you, like, yo, I think I'm a woman.
Yo,
I'll
personally,
just be
for
like-
real though, a lot of people who think like that, they've been damaged from an early age.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
too.
Either they were molested, they went through something in life, early in life, that altered their mind, or they had an experience that maybe made them feel like that, and as they grew up, it maybe kept happening, or maybe it just, they saw something maybe that probably steered them in that direction, and they, something just ticked off in their head like, oh, if I'm a guy, I'm a woman now, you know? Like, this is what I want to pursue. I want to go get surgery and change my name, you know, from Matt to Maria, you know, whatever it is, you know? And it's I feel like it has to do with past experience.
Mhm.
You know, it's crazy.
But I do think it could be psychological, just like how what's his name?
Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner.
He's still like women, I heard.
No, but he goes back and
I have no
forth. Like,
idea.
he'll have
No, yeah,
days. He'll have days where he's like a guy.
against
and then-
homosexuality, and he's a woman.
No, I didn't know anything about this
Yeah,
story.
yeah, it's crazy.
Gay
It's like,
people getting married.
I'm like,
So you say he has on and off days.
yeah,
Yeah,
like he was like,
exactly.
I feel
that.
yeah,
Like back in the day, he
it's
was
not
an
weird.
Olympian, right? So
Is that
he
like
used to go
frustrating
track.
though? Imagine
I mean,
like having.
it's not frustrating. I guess
confused. He doesn't know
it's
he-
your mind. It's psychological.
And that must hurt. No, that must hurt though. Like having
Yeah.
to go through a surgery like that, and then
And
in a
regret.
sense wake up like I don't feel like this, and then it's like, because like yo, no friends. I really think feelings are like. I think Josh was talking about this. Like it's like stoplights.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1 minute you're red, next minute you yellow,
Yeah.
and then you green, and it's like, oh,
You have
I'm red
no-
today.
You have no control over it.
You don't have no control of your
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah,
You,
you have no
you really
control.
don't. You really don't. So it's like that must be really frustrating to, in a sense, wake up one day feeling some way based off your past experience.
But it's like,
And the tiniest
do you
things
know
can
who you
click
really
it.
are at that point?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have to question yourself.
People
Like,
are lost.
who am I really?
So as my friend, and if I tell you I think I'm a woman, what do you do?
Like I said, I'll ask you why. Why do you feel
That's
this
mine.
way?
I tell you, just honestly, because I don't know, based off my past experience, I don't know. I just one day feel like I literally think I'm in the wrong body.
That's really true because I feel like you can't really explain as much as you want to. It's just how you feel.
Yeah. And I think
It
also
just- it
because you
just
don't know
feels
what
like-
to say,
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna tell somebody you feel like I'm a woman.
it's like,
without,
no, you're not.
Without it not being true. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. That's not something you.
But
you
what?
should
But
joke
what
about.
is? But for real, if there's a truth, what is the truth in that situation?
Of you saying
I feel like I'm a woman.
I mean, the truth is, you're technically not a woman because you don't have women's body parts. You know,
Mm.
you don't have the woman's emotions. You don't go through a
Yeah.
menstrual cycle. You don't do a bunch of. You don't have.
you don't experience.
You don't
other
experience
things
what women
females do.
experience. So technically, you're a man. You know.
So it has a lot to do with my thinking in that
That's,
process.
Yeah.
that's all in your head. You know, that's what I was saying to you. You
Mhm.
know, if you really break it down, that's all on your mind. You know, that's something you need to work on psychologically. You need to go talk to a therapist or something. But then I think about it now. If you go to talk to someone, a therapist who is,
They don't think you crazy.
they're gonna be like
Yeah.
that, or they're gonna say, no, you're fine. You know, you're okay. How you're thinking is completely normal.
Mm.
That's what they're gonna say to
Just
you.
getting their money.
Because 9 out of 10, what he just
Yeah,
said,
that's-
they want
that's
your
really how
money.
it
They
is.
want you to keep coming back to them to say,
They want you to.
so you can get that assurance of, oh, you know what I'm thinking is correct. You know, I'm fine. You know, but ultimately you're not, dude. You like because you're not a woman. You know, so that's it's crazy. It's
But that's
crazy.
what's also bad about like therapists like that is they could actually have a conversation with you and kind of rewire your brain to think a certain way,
Wow,
so that
yeah.
you feel like your anxieties, like for example, you have anxiety and you go to a therapist. It's like it's gonna make you feel like I don't have anxiety anymore because I'm talking to you and I'm kind of releasing all the tension to you. And once they talk back to you and both of you feel comfortable, it makes you feel like it's gone.
Yeah, bro.
Because like I think anxiety is a lot to do with your thinking.
No,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
fear.
it does.
It's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
fear.
a lot of it is fear.
But at the end of the day, like when going to a therapist, at the end of the day, y'all both gotta go home at the end of the day. So and
Right.
you have to look yourself in the mirror when you wake up,
Right.
when you brush your teeth.
Face the
everything.
truth.
You have to face that truth. It just be like, yo, who am I really?
And that's
You
like,
have to say
bro,
that to yourself.
that's like doctors who are doing abortions every day, bro. How do you what do you think they're going through every day? They go home after
Right.
killing hundreds of babies in one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go through the same thing, if not worse, and they have to live with that guilt every single day.
And psychologically,
But
that's heavy.
See, that's what I think. When it comes to care, you don't really think at it like that. It's what you have to do. It's how you make
like
money.
doctors are numb to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a usual thing. That's why doctors
I think-
don't panic when they do operations, 7-hour, 8-hour operations.
I
I
They're
think it
in
hurts
there.
some people when they lose a life, like on the surgery
Oh,
table.
yeah.
But some of them probably like, yo, listen, come on, newbie. We've been here before. Don't stay in the room too
You get
long.
numb to it.
Yeah,
It is.
it's the way your brain rewires
Yeah,
itself
yeah,
as
yeah.
you do things,
Just
consistently over time.
That's good. All right, check this out. Let's bring it to an art standpoint. I think everybody here has some form of artistic or creative thing about them. Let's say that tripod, right? That's a tripod, right?
Yeah,
That's the truth.
that's a fact.
I think it's a desk. Am I wrong?
No, it's actually because it's holding up your camera, and the desk will hold up your camera as well. So you can reword it.
So you're saying it has the same purpose, so it may be the same thing.
It could be. It's just shaped differently.
It's just shaped different.
Oh, so okay, based on what we found out about truth,
Oh man.
you just went back on your word. So I'm telling you right now, that tripod is a desk. Am I wrong?
It could be a desk.
Has the same purpose,
Same exact purpose.
but is it a desk?
So what makes that a
So
tripod?
if I
What
lay
makes it
this,
desk?
if I lay this on the side, if I lay this flat, right,
Uh-huh.
I guarantee you, I could balance something on top of that. You
So
know,
because it has similar purposes, it could be taken for the same thing.
it can be.
What if the dude that made tripods came in here and heard y'all say that?
As it does.
Would he feel like his invention was in vain? Because y'all in here talking about, no, it's not a desk. It sits on 3 little posts. That's what makes it a tripod.
Yeah, of course.
So
I
what
talked to the
does it
guy who made the tripod. Like, you
Yeah.
guys are crazy. That's why he made this.
Right, I would be.
This is my hustle. I'm trying to make this
Right.
tripod money.
So if you was the owner, how would you feel?
I would be like, y'all, it's a tripod. Call it by what I made it to be.
Okay.
And if y'all called it anything else, I would personally say y'all don't deserve to use this anymore because clearly y'all got the thing messed up. No, for real.
I'm playing. I'm obviously playing around, so I'm just.
That's true.
I'm just
So-
messing around.
So am I wrong?
You're
No,
definitely wrong.
You're wrong.
You're definitely wrong.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to. I'm
All right, check this out.
out.
Check this out. Check this out. All right. Now, listen. I'm 23 years old, right? I think I'm 60. Am I wrong?
Nah, you have an old soul, brother, like me.
we all in there. We all in there.
But the truth is, you're not 60.
You're not.
Nah, I'm not, but my soul could be 60.
Your soul could be 60.
Could be.
Your mind could be 60.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But the
That's
truth
all-
is, you're not 60.
The truth is, I'm not 60, but it's all like from like we said before, all of experiences.
Yep, your past.
Your past,
The way
and
you
your
grow
past can
Like,
make you feel
for,
like you're.
for example, you go through so much hardship that, like, you do the things that adults would do. For example, at like 17, you get kicked out. Obviously, you have to provide for yourself. You do all the things that adults do. That means you don't go out at 17 because you have to go to work the next day. The things that you have to do is very limited, and over time, I feel like that's gonna make you an adult. And
So
that's
you
what's
so
gonna
you
make
get
feel like-
older. No, you get more mature, not older. You just more mature than others.
Exactly.
Like your thinking process is more is I'm not gonna say advanced, but it's like you think quicker because you're used to
Smarter.
because you're used to handling more responsibilities than the average 17-year-old.
Okay.
My opinion.
I like that. I like that. And I think so. So can we say, to get off the topic of truth, can we say that there is a such thing as truth?
Oh,
Curious.
absolutely.
Can we say that there's multiple truth, or is there just one truth?
It could be
There's
multiple.
multiple truth.
You can't
Just like how you can crack an egg more than one way.
Technically, I feel.
Oh yeah, you could. I'm about to say.
I think there's one truth.
I was saying,
So, all right, let's go like this. So one truth. What do you believe? One truth or multiple truth?
There's multiple truths.
There's multiple
Because you can tell
truths.
somebody to crack it, like you said, you can tell somebody to crack an egg. Which way you gonna crack the egg, bro?
So I think is what we're saying is there's many principles.
oh, okay.
but one truth.
One truth. Okay, yeah.
So you're a
absolutely.
one truth person or a
yeah.
multiple truth person?
One truth.
How about
truth,
you,
one
Keith?
truth.
I think multiple truths.
Yo, I think your sweater's a jean jacket. Is that true?
No, it's not true.
So what is it? What is that you got on?
It's a leather jacket. What do you think?
It's a leather jacket. So is there one truth or multiple truths?
It's all right. Think about it like this. Like you said.
So,
like
one
you said
sweater,
earlier,
different purposes.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go back though. Like you said though, we live in a world where the truth is we go to school and that's how we're gonna be successful. But other people are successful in different ways. So it's two different truths. You can go this way to school and be successful that way, or you can take your
Keep
time.
working.
So different
do what you
ways to
really like.
success,
Okay.
but there's a truth in success that
That's
it's
the-
gonna take hard work.
That's the truth.
That's what the truth is. Truth has to be. It's a foundational thing. It's a fundamental thing.
It's
It's
it's like I said,
principle, like
it's
you said.
whatever your
Yeah.
heart feels right. That's the truth.
So you said whatever your heart feels is the truth.
Nah, man.
What if in my heart I feel like
Girl.
he's. I'm trying to think of something like. But can we trust our hearts? Be honest. Can y'all trust your heart?
If I can. If it aligns with my mind, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if it
No, the
hurt-
gut
if it hurt
feeling
me
and the
that
heart
much,
feeling, is
yeah.
that the same thing?
I mean, I personally feel like my heart is key. Like I feel my heart is just sideways. Like I could, again, my feelings are like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm
Yeah, my
interested in something I want to do.
That's,
And then I'll be
yeah.
like,
I thought I was the only
nah.
one. Nah, that's how it is.
All right, so back to the topic of truth. I want to switch it over to, like, we were talking about the government, we were talking about the law, we were talking about all that stuff. Now we're not about to talk about the government on this side because we never had anybody coming after my house. But no, like, so is there such thing as good and evil?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
But based off just the cultures in the world, like there's so many different cultures. Like some cultures say this is okay, some cultures say don't. But is there a line where it's like, nah, that's wrong. No matter where you're from, how you grew up, that's just wrong.
Right.
Of course.
It is wrong at the end of the day, truthfully, but this is very. It can go very, very deep in this
Yeah,
conversation.
it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
Well,
It's a lot of stuff
staying on the
to
topic of truth. If I kill somebody,
Mhm.
is that wrong?
Of course, because you're taking someone
Yes.
else's life, you're cutting them short of something that could have been. You know, that's wrong. You know,
And then to him, but to him though, he could probably be like, he needed to die.
obviously we need to defend ourselves. You know,
Right.
and take whatever action is necessary. And you
So
know,
defense is okay, but murder is definitely a wrong in our book. We're all agreeing that murder is wrong.
Definitely.
nah,
We
if
can
you're
do that.
initiating it for no reason, man, like you're just trying to kill someone for whatever they have, whatever
Yeah, that's
possession.
wrong.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's
That's
wrong.
wrong, right?
And if let's lesser the extreme. What if I just simply, I robbed you? That's wrong.
I'm like, brother, what you need, brother?
Yeah.
Now you ain't get a chance to ask me. I was like,
But
yo,
see,
give me
that's,
all your
that's how
bread.
he think. In my mind, you rob me, I'm gonna have to rob you back.
He said that.
So you pay a wrong with a wrong.
Right.
Nah,
Yeah,
man.
because
No,
what
yeah,
you
no,
gonna
no,
do?
no, that's not right.
No
Chaos.
peace.
This
It's
is question.
chaos.
So in order to have peace, you have to have some type of friction.
Somebody has to. Like,
Somebody
yo,
gotta take a L.
Like, somebody had to take an L.
So
Regardless,
then
to make
that's
peace.
just like earlier what you said. If you cheated on her, she gonna cheat on you back. You gonna
Oh,
be
nah.
like,
I ain't say that.
No, I'm saying back to cheating, back to cheating. Like he said, if you rob him, he gonna rob you back.
Yeah,
now,
nah.
in the girl experience, if you cheat on her, she probably gonna be like, all right, I'm about to get this back.
But it's not
But it's
like
not right,
I'm
though.
gonna rob you back. It's not like I'm gonna rob you back for what you robbed me. It could be cash. It could be materialistic things.
And then also the person that
But
robbed her,
that's
like,
when the
really
cycle
needed
starts.
So yeah, it's cycle start.
A cycle
So-
starts from there. Because
so-
then it's like, all right, he robbed me. Now,
Chaos for chaos.
But because
like-
the
I'm
truth
gonna do
is,
something way worse. I'm gonna have somebody hemmed up.
And then it'll
in
stop at him,
And
and
it'll
then
stop at
another-
him, and then it's gonna
yeah,
be
but the
the
thing is, the truth is, you're not gonna call the cops on me because you robbed me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not gonna call the cops on you
Okay.
because you robbed me.
Right,
So
yeah.
watch this. Is it wrong?
What, Robin?
Stealing from people. Stealing, period.
Still
Robin Hood.
It's
Robin Hood
wrong? You think it's wrong? I think Robin Hood was wrong.
Robin Hood was wrong.
No, Robin Hood.
I mean, it all depends.
Robin Hood was a thief.
He was a thief, but he gave back to
you
less
could,
fortunate.
you could rob somebody without being violent.
You could.
So if I robbed you right now and I ain't even insult you, bro. I just say, yo, run your pockets and go home. That's mad
It don't
polite.
happen. I'm
mad
gonna fight back.
polite.
Yo,
Please,
like,
go
yo,
home,
Fight
please.
back.
Go home, please.
Hey, go in peace.
Please just go home. I'm gonna just.
So if I robbed you non-violently, it's not wrong?
I wouldn't say it's wrong. I mean, it's
That's wrong.
just
That's
what-
wrong as
still
hell.
wrong.
Well,
I'm sorry. That's wrong as hell.
Oh,
You trying to take my
That's
stuff?
even more
Paul.
disrespectful because you got the authority to be like, yo, I'm about to rob you. Just give me this stuff and you can go home. Like,
Why?
I'd rather somebody be really gully, be like, yo, give me your stuff right now or I'm just off you.
Yeah.
Nah.
But no, so it's safe to say that this stuff is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Watch this. Here's a good question.
Yeah.
Who makes these calls? That's wrong. That's right. That's good. That's evil. Who makes these calls?
God,
Your
yourself.
point of view.
You said God. You said your point of
Your own
view.
point of view.
Yeah, yourself, man.
Yourself.
I think God, man.
God. So y'all that said point of views.
But to the people who don't believe in religion, what do you
That's a good question.
rely
That's,
on?
that's
So-
why that's what I said yourself because there's people who don't believe in God. So
But also it comes from like experiencing what they see.
Nature versus nurture. What they brought up around.
So what you brought up with your experiences and based off your own perception. So how about this? Here's a good question. Is it safe to say that the government has made some terrible calls?
They've been lying to. I'm sorry.
No, we don't know anything about the government. They be lying.
Yo, I had to catch myself. I'm about to go in that mother.
So, but it's safe to say that we there's a lot around the world. There's corrupt government.
Yeah.
So
Everywhere.
everywhere.
so wait, hold up. Is it safe to say that it shouldn't be left in the hands of the government to make these calls?
No, because they're doing everything for money.
Okay,
And once
so
you
they're
put-
It's
corrupt.
not that
And
they're
when-
doing
so-
everything for money, but
Nah,
I feel
mo-
like
most-
Well, they're corrupt. Let's just say they're corrupt.
Yeah, okay.
It's corrupt. It's a corrupt system.
Yeah.
So y'all think you could be able to call the shots for everybody? What's wrong? What's right?
To make a peaceful world?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You think you could do that?
Absolutely.
As long as you have common sense.
That's
That's-
all
that's-
it
I
is.
don't
Is common
think-
sense.
You need common sense?
If you don't have that greed and that ego where it's just like, yo, I don't care what you going through, I need my money. Like, nah, like, nah. I'm saying that.
But that's too good to be true for a president, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so take that.
Because
Hold up.
it's
You
true.
said God. You said point of view, and you said point of view, a personal experience. So president. right? It's safe to say presidents don't make those calls really good.
No,
They don't.
They don't even make the calls, period. Truthfully, if you want to get technical.
Yeah, they really don't.
Okay.
Congress
They have
be making,
higher ups too.
You got
man.
the little homies.
So
running
even
the
them. So can we really can we trust them? Do they? Or can we say it should be left in the hands of them to make what's right and what's wrong?
Nah, because their right is just all off greed and ego.
Okay, so it's corrupted. So even in their right or wrong, they're evil in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so who makes that call that that's evil? What
God.
do they do?
Money makes the
The
call.
test. The
Money makes
testaments.
call. You said money makes that evil.
Nah, man.
You think money is evil?
Money.
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 Money
Yeah,
is
money.
evil.
The love of money is evil.
The love of money. You think money's evil or the root that's the root of all evil? That's what I think y'all getting at.
I
That's where it
mean,
stems from.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what
look at it that way, but I feel like money is just overall. You have too much money, it's bad for you. You don't have enough money, it's bad for you.
If you oversaturate yourself with anything.
So like
it's
the
bad.
love for money is evil, but money itself has its place.
Yeah, of course.
I could agree with love for money is evil, but like
Money has its place.
You need
Yeah.
money, man.
Money got us in here.
Like,
Money got us in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
His nickname is money.
No, church, we ain't about to do that.
I don't think too much money is not enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So yeah, you could do good. It's when the money has you.
Exactly.
It's when the money has control of you.
Do you feel as money could cripple somebody?
I think it can. It would be someone who probably never had it or never was taught how to manage it. So check this out. So we agree that the government, the president, Congress, other people can't do it. So you think if the government, the president, Congress can't do it, you think? Well, you didn't say it. You all said point of view. So y'all think y'all got it? Y'all think y'all can make the calls?
Of course.
If I know some structure,
Like
and
you
I-
said, it's simple, it's easy, it's common sense.
It's common sense.
But you know what I mean? What about when you get put in that position of power?
Soon as you start,
What's gonna
That's
happen?
good.
soon as you start
You know?
making decisions.
So it's safe to say that somebody in power has to make this position, had to make these calls. What's right?
But
what's
I'm saying
wrong.
you,
Oh, me?
or any of us.
I don't think I can make it because I do bad things. I make bad calls and I can't trust myself. I make bad decisions.
see, you know
Like
yourself.
I know like for instance
That's your
I know it's not right to kill nobody. I know it's not right, but like I know like is lying wrong? To lie to somebody?
You see where it
It
got
is
us
wrong.
in this country.
So
So it's wrong.
built
So
off
but I
lies,
do
bro.
that.
We're-
So
No,
we're
but I-
talking.
what I'm
It
saying,
is-
I
It
lie.
is wrong if you have a big influence and to people, then obviously they would follow whatever.
So you're saying your influence
Yeah,
plays a part.
that's
But
why
I
we
think
have
got big influence in
influencers.
life.
what I'm saying is I'm saying to answer this question, I can't make that call because if I say lying is wrong and then I do it, that makes me a hypocrite.
Right.
So
So
the thing is like if nobody knows you and you say it's wrong, nobody's really gonna listen to you. But if you're,
so you have to have power.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have
That's what separates a president.
So
to a normal
who
person.
who makes like Conrad said have good morals. So who makes morality?
Your parents,
yeah, it's how you're brought up. It's how you're
your household.
Tell you,
Like who created morality?
the Bible.
The Bible, that you could relate to religion. Like
Bible.
people, grow up whatever, Catholic, whatever. There's always something that's gonna teach them
What's
how
good
to
in
live.
life.
You know what I mean?
Traditions.
So, traditions too, family. How you're grown, how your certain whatever country your background you're from. That could have a
Ethnicity.
play.
That's
So how do you know where all of this stuff is
Country,
rooted in?
third
Like,
world
so if
country.
it's a tradition or it's the religion, okay, where does it? Who like? Is there somebody behind the religion, the tradition? Who is it that says, okay, y'all, this is good, this is evil? Like, is it a man-made thing? Like, who made that call that this is good and this
See,
is evil?
that's where
This
we
is trial
said
and
like
error.
it's that goes on whoever.
Do we know?
whatever you
Do we
believe
know
in.
realistically?
That, like I said, it comes off trial and error. It's just seeing like if you was to do something.
Like, so if I killed you by mistake, it's like, all right, I know that's wrong.
if you what?
So if I killed you by mistake, I know that's wrong.
Yeah. So, it's like,
So
yo,
you think?
yo,
So you
bullying
think
me,
before
like,
this
you
war
know,
was when the first people on this earth was like, yep, can't do that. That's how we made morality. I'm just asking. I'm not, cause I personally don't know who
You
made
got
it.
him thinking.
I do.
I don't think a person created morality. I really don't.
You think it's spirit?
I think God did it.
Yeah,
that's
God-
I do too. I believe that too. But if you go to an atheist and say that, what are they gonna say?
You think it's gonna be like?
That's a good question though.
You know?
And I think that goes back to the question of truth. Is it true that there's right and wrong?
I like how you did that there. I like how you did that.
Dude, well, I'm just asking the question. No, remember, so it's like, okay, atheists, they have morality, but it's crazy. Most atheists actually want you to prove God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they actually want you to.
Yeah.
So it's not like a thing of like, oh.
But then it's scary because then they be like, oh, we can prove it with science, and you be like, huh?
So okay, so that goes back to truth. So okay, so who made morality? Safe to say we don't know, or we gonna say it had to be God?
I'm gonna say God.
I do feel like it's your own standards that makes morality. It has to be your own standards.
So check this out. I think killing that right now is just perfectly fine,
Like that would be awesome. Like, but don't do it.
and that's my standard.
That's your
I don't even think that's morality though. How does that come into part of morality? If
Well, you're saying
trying
that
to
morality
make
is
yourself
the
out?
good and evil, or bad and good. it's
Because-
left up to my own
I
standards.
mean, I never seen a kid that had bad morals and murdered somebody.
Right.
But I also seen
But
a
kids do
kid
some
with good,
crazy
with good morals and murder somebody.
Kids be doing wild stuff. Kids, you can't use kids. Kids be wild. No, but Peters though, if you're saying it's up to my own standard, I think robbing him, killing him, stealing, that's all right. Is that okay?
It could be right in you, but then you go to jail, so you got to think about.
Oh, so if I go to jail, is that like a law saying that regardless of what I think, it's still wrong?
Look, you,
it's up to you. You tell me.
All right, so
Do you really want
So can I go to court and say, yo, judge, I think murder's fine. Let me go. Can I do that?
They're not gonna let you go. Definitely not.
Why?
Gonna let you go.
because they didn't seek benefit from it.
yeah.
Oh, so you think they corrupt?
Prisons are businesses. They're not government.
Okay, all right. So I've been to court for speeding tickets.
Okay.
What if I go up to the judge and I'm like, yo, judge, I was not speeding. Sir, the ticket says you were. I was not speeding. I don't believe in my own standard. I was speeding. Would they let me go?
Let's be
I'm
for
like,
real.
have you done 85 before?
Nah, let's be for real. Some
85
cops pull you over for no reason. Oh, yeah, you were
Y'all,
telling the judge
all
if
right,
they
y'all
tell-
being
if
funny.
they
Y'all
say-
being funny. Y'all was in court, right? And the judge found you guilty for speeding 85 in a 25 zone. If you told the judge, by my own standard, that 85 is technically 25, would she let you go?
Hell no.
She wouldn't. Why? Why?
She'll look at you crazy.
Why?
But also there's
Because
evidence.
technicality.
There's evidence.
There's evidence
because
for.
there's a giant sign that says 25 miles per hour. You know,
Also,
and-
like warning. It was like a warning. Don't do this because this is wrong.
But what if your speedometer like messed up and it say 25 on the joint, but the cop clock
Technically,
you
your
at-
car wouldn't pass inspection, so you shouldn't have been driving for real.
Oh, see,
Dang.
technicality coming.
So the
That's what I'm
truth
saying.
is in this situation you were speeding,
Right.
So you committed a crime, so you had to what? Pay for that crime,
Big one.
either a fine or if you murder somebody, what? You get jail time, right?
Yeah, 25 that life.
So back to you because I gotta talk. We been talking. You said it's by my own standard. If I think killing him is wrong, is that wrong, or is that good because I said it?
I mean, I would assume it's wrong too because it's murder.
Yeah, and that'd be chaos if we left it up to, yo, you can believe what you want when it comes to murder. And that's fine. I think that's chaos, bro. Because then there's people who are literally like, in a sense, terrorists who think, all right, cool, I'm gonna just bomb all y'all buildings. And that's cool with us, but it's wrong. The truth is that's wrong. I think it can't be left up to our own standard. It can't. It'd be chaos because then the world would just go rampant if everybody could choose what they
It'll
want.
be purged
But there's
every day.
there's a law set up so that way that doesn't happen. I do agree with you though. I think it gotta be God. It's gotta be somebody that's in a sense above everything, that's completely good, completely perfect, to be able to say, no, that's bad, that's good, that's evil, that's good.
But are you saying that because there's heaven and hell?
That's a good question. We can go into that. So if there is a standard of good and evil, regardless of what any of us believe in our own personal faith, it's like the only person that could literally make that call be somebody that's completely perfect or completely outside of this corrupt world in a sense. But then you bring up a good question. If there's God, that means there's a heaven or a hell.
Exactly.
So it's like, then it's like, okay, the truth about heaven or hell. Here's a good question. If you die, where do you think you would go?
Heaven.
You think you go to heaven?
Mhm.
Why?
Because I talk to God every night.
We be chilling every night. We go way back.
So if you die,
And I ask him to forgive me for my sins.
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So if you die, where do you think you would go?
I know I'm going to heaven because I know that I believe in the Son, you know, and that's what I believe in is the Bible. And if that Bible tells me that if you know, the only way to the Father is through His Son, and if I believe in that, and if I repent for the things I've done wrong in my life, then I know I'm going to heaven, you know, and I'm secure in that.
If you were to die, where would you go, heaven or hell?
I would
In your
think I'm
personal
going to
opinion.
heaven. Yes, I would think I'm going to heaven.
Why?
Because I'm a really good guy and I don't do nothing.
Okay, you're crazy. Don't do nothing.
But it's some people that wake up and be like, yo, I'm
But
definitely going to hell.
but then again, it's like.
Yeah,
but
but
then
talking about
again,
people.
it's like,
Me, I used to think that like all the time. When I was a young boy, yeah, I was
I
like,
used to be wild.
yeah, me and my brother, I was like, yo, we might go to hell for real.
but think about it. Like,
Real rap, yo. Like, that was not no joke. Me and my brother, we share rooms. I used to be like, yo,
I'm going to hell.
I think I might go. Yo, how about you? If you were to die, where do you think you would go?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be a standout because like I don't really know what's gonna happen.
Stand
after
out.
that.
Oh,
You go there like this. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Nah, it's just like
Where we at?
it's just like I don't want to think ahead because I don't know what's there. So once I get there, then that means I'll find out the truth.
So you'll find out when you get there.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You'll
I
take
can't
time.
really
So-
decide now.
Let me see if I remember. So you going to heaven because you talk to God every night,
Yeah,
and you ask for forgiveness.
ask him for forgiveness.
All right, and you going to heaven because you believe in the Son of God. You going to heaven because you're a good person. You don't do nothing.
Don't say it like that.
And
But-
you don't want to look too far in the future because you don't know it's there, and you'll find out
And
when
like,
you get there.
I don't think I'm scared of death.
Mhm.
So I'm like okay with the fact that if I go to heaven, I go to heaven. If I go to hell, I go to hell. If there's a third life, then I go to third life. You know what I'm
What would a
saying?
third life be like? What would that? What would
It's,
that?
it's just you in a different form of like,
Like
Reincarnation.
reincarnation.
like
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So you
Like,
would come
I'm
back
okay
here?
with that. Yeah, of course.
As like somebody else or the
I feel as
same?
if everybody.
Somebody else.
I feel as if reincarnation exists through all like religions.
Yeah.
Like whatever you did in your previous life is gonna affect you when you're reborn,
Mhm.
and it's gonna transfer over.
All right, so check this out. How about this? So let's go back to the thing of truth. With everybody's faith shared and everybody what they said. So we're gonna say, okay, there's a creator, and because we just see creation, so there has to be a higher being. We'll say that a higher being, a creator, or a force, whatever. If there is a creator, like we said about the guy who made the tripod, there must be a purpose for what the creator created. And if we just stick to, let's say, this law or this morality thing or this kind of standard of what's good and evil, like if you think about a watchmaker, when a person creates a watch, he wants that watch to tell time. And if it doesn't tell time, it's like it's not serving its purpose.
It's not a watch.
It's not a watch. That's good. It's not a watch.
It's not a watch.
And it's like, I think, like, it's crazy because what does the watchmaker do to that watch? He just throws it away. Like, it has to kind of, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. Like, if that tripod didn't work, you gotta go. Like, I'm just throwing it away. And it's like, it's scary to think about it, but it's like, all right, if there's a creator or a higher being or this force that created all of this and us for a purpose, the first thing I would think about is, first, have we been, like, for example, if he can make the calls of this is good and evil, he must be good. Like, anybody to make that call, I'm pretty sure he's not evil. And I'm pretty sure what people believe about God is usually he's good. He's like, what are some qualities you hear about God?
He's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
He's good. He's
got good
gentle. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. When you think about like that this idea of good and evil, it's like, you know, you think about what you said. Oh, I'm going to heaven because I'm good. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna ask y'all a simple question.
Oh, boy.
Cause this is so funny.
Oh, here we go.
Have you ever lied before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Have you ever lied before?
But that's what I'm saying. But you didn't let me explain.
You ever lied before? Nah, I got what you said. I ain't mad at you. I'm just asking you. Have you lied before?
Yeah.
I lied before. You lied before?
No.
Oh.
I thought you said no.
He just lied right now. Yo, check this out. Check this out. If I just lied to y'all, right? What would you all call me?
A liar.
You call me a liar?
Yeah.
Habitual liar. Habitual
Dang, I just
liar.
lied one time.
Nah, because a lie builds on lies.
So watch this. How many times have you ever lied before in your life?
Oh my god.
You can't count?
I can't count.
Countless.
I can't count,
I've
bro.
been busted. I've been
Countless.
I've been
But
busted.
I end up confessing. I'm like, yo, I can't take this lie. That I can't. I was lying so much. I'm just like, yo, I can't.
So
do
if you
this.
confess one time, it like clears all your lies?
But you
No.
can lie.
It
You
opens
can lie
up.
so good that you can make it look like it's the truth.
Well,
Yeah,
some people believe in their lies, though.
but that's what I'm saying.
But some
You
people
must
believe in their
must
lies.
believe in your lies.
Narcissist.
So take that. All right, reel it back in. Watch this. Have you ever stole something before?
Nah, I was never stole nothing in my life.
Watch this.
Not even a utensil, bro.
He lied. He a liar.
I'm being.
So what's this? How about
Look
this?
at the child.
No, no matter big or small, even if it's out of your mom's purse when you were young.
Nah, bro. Bro,
You never stole nothing? I'll let you
Bro.
have that. That's cool.
He going to heaven.
I stole something before, bro. I
I
stole
never stole
anything.
anything. I'm like, yo, bro, I was too afraid to steal, bro.
Oh, all right. I respect that. I respect
I was too
that.
afraid to steal because I always. I'm like, yo, my dad.
Yo, you ever seen?
See,
You
you
ever
got
you ever
good
took
morals.
something from one of your friends you didn't get no permission to take?
I borrowed it. I'm like, yo, I'm about to borrow this. I'm about to borrow it. And they were like, yo, where'd it go? I'm like, yo, I got it. They were like, oh, all right. And I give it back. That's not stealing,
Did you
right?
take it without your permission
That's stealing?
or consent? That's stealing.
For real?
I mean, it depends. If he's close.
We'll give you that. We'll give you that. You're not a thief. That's dope. You ever stole something before, bro?
Yes, of course.
I stole something before. You ever
Of
stole?
course.
Yo, if I stole something, what would that make me?
Robin Hood. Okay. What you steal it for? For your better need,
Hey,
right?
I don't remember, bro. I just stole, bro.
Yeah, I stole because I was broke, man. I ain't gonna lie.
So watch this.
man.
Already, bro. Already, we ain't even go too far. We just figured out we all some lions, Steves.
That's not good. Okay.
So check this out. If, like, mind you, I've lied. I
I
can't
put a
count.
front so good though, you can't even tell.
I can't count how many times I lied before. Like, honestly, I know I'm gonna lie probably today, probably tomorrow. I ain't gonna hold you, cause it's weird. Like, you just lie for, it's like, why I lie for.
They gonna know we lying.
And then when you think about it, how many times you gonna lie for the rest of your life?
Everybody lie though, I feel like.
I think so too, bro. I think everybody lies. I think everybody steals.
It's
Watch
countless
this.
amount of time, depends on the situation. If you gotta lie, you gotta lie.
How about this? Watch this.
Here we go.
Have you ever murdered somebody before?
Oh,
How you do that?
GTA, yeah.
You ever murdered mine? I'm scared.
Like
he took a pause.
animals wise, like
You from St. Louis, bro?
Man, you killed somebody, bro?
not human.
You took a life though.
I took like a
Some
chicken's
of that.
life.
Yeah, so you took, that's killing somebody. That's killing somebody.
You killed somebody before, bro?
It's not part of it though. Nah, that shit.
Nah, we're not talking about animals. But check this out.
That's a human being.
But check this out. Based off the Bible that you guys brought up,
They're just killings in it.
Jesus said that if you look at somebody with anger in your heart, you murdered them.
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
So I killed a lot
For
of people.
real?
then.
So you killed somebody before?
I killed mad people.
I
slaughtered
You
mad.
killed somebody before, bro?
And that
Yo,
That's it.
yo, for real? You said that for real?
Yeah. Yo, you know what's crazy? You a liar, you a thief, and you a murderer.
Yo,
Oh, that's crazy.
Not a thief.
I don't steal though.
No, we found out you are a thief. You definitely a thief. Watch this. Have you ever?
Yo, wait, hold on, bro. He said that for real?
Yeah, bro.
Yo, that's
So
crazy.
if you have anger, if you are angry at somebody, you have committed murder in your heart. That's crazy.
Yo.
Watch this. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What? Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
Yeah.
Come on, son.
How about you, bro? Like, yo, this boy like, yeah.
What you doing, bro?
I gotta delete some things.
Baby girl. He texts his girl like, yo.
Shoot, on
do not
Instagram,
watch
it's a
this
dog.
video
I'm about to tell my
tonight.
You don't even gotta go to, you don't gotta go to Instagram.
Mom, I'm going through this interview. Cops after this outside. I know for a fact.
Yo.
I'm recording everything.
Yo, you know what's crazy? The Bible says that if you look at a woman with lust, you have committed adultery in your heart. That's like cheating, basically. Y'all agree cheating is wrong?
Yeah, bro.
Yo, so you a liar, a thief, a murderer,
I ain't no
a
thief.
cheater, an adulterer. That's what he calls it. Watch
It
this.
says it in the Bible?
Yo, have you ever said God's name in vain? Have you ever said God's name in
Come on,
vain?
bro. Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yo, you know what that's called? You know what that's called?
What?
It's called blasphemy.
That's
See, if I came in here, I was gonna act like a typical Asian guy, but I feel like that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo, that is funny,
I
bro.
was gonna come in here like,
Yo,
yeah.
I don't mean to keep picking on you, bro. So I'm gonna go to somebody else.
But
That means
Nah, this is good. This is good.
I'm picking on you. That means that you a liar, you a thief, you a murderer,
you cheating.
you an adulterer, and y'all all blasphemers, including me. I've done all of these things. Okay, what's another
But
one?
God know we ain't perfect.
That's a truth.
That's the truth. God know we ain't perfect. We gonna
Man,
make
that's a-
mistakes.
that's a
We
truth.
gonna mess up.
everybody's
gonna
about
mess
to
up.
make mistakes. That's the thing.
Okay,
Everybody's
So wait,
about to
okay.
make mistakes.
Let's bring it back to the courtroom real fast.
Okay.
If
You never been to jail, huh?
if I went to court and I said
Yeah.
if I went
I've
to
been to jail.
help, watch this. If I went to
That's
court and
all-
I said, "Hey judge, I ain't perfect," what would that judge do to me?
I ain't perfect either, but you still gonna get this fine.
Stamping. Dun, dun, dun. That's what you get. That.
What would the judge
Something
do?
gotta be done.
Have you ever gotten jealous before?
Yeah.
Gotten
I
jealous?
want to kill somebody.
Yeah, that's,
But
I hate you.
You ever envy somebody before?
a little bit.
I don't know.
Not in my younger days.
When younger, yeah, when
Yeah,
you
when I
were
was
younger.
younger.
Y'all ever?
Envy's a strong word.
Yeah, it is.
Nah,
Y'all
I
ever
ain't
was
shit up.
greedy
I
or
ain't
something?
somebody. Speak my language. I am. Woo. I was like you don't deserve that.
It doesn't have to be someone. It could be something that someone has also.
Greedy of someone, something.
Greedy?
Hmm?
Yeah. It was a time. Well, it was a couple times where I had to get selfish just for my own need, and I
Yeah.
had to because I had to do like self-reflection.
You know what's a good one? Yo, have you ever been disobedient to your parents?
Oh hell yeah.
Of course.
I'm referring to the 10 Commandments.
These
You're
are
supposed
all
to honor your
sins,
mother
bro.
and father.
But
Yo, check this out. You been disobedient before? You been to Sabina before? I have.
I have.
So yo, that makes I can't keep picking on you.
Oh my
yo,
God.
you a liar, a murderer, a thief, an adulterer, a cheater, a blasphemer, and you're
blasphemer.
disobedient.
Pause. Can we look at the good stuff? I feel like it's too many bads.
Okay,
right now.
that's
this
good.
is
That's
true.
good.
No, this is
bad.
true.
But that's
This is
good.
true, though.
That's a good point. He said he a good person. What if I went to the court of law and said, "Yo, judge,
He's a good person.
I'm a good dude."
But you
Right.
killed him. Like,
What would they say to me?
You're crazy.
Something got to be done. So justice
You
has
gotta
to be
learn your
served.
lesson. Yep.
So what's the difference between the court of law and God keeping His justice? The Bible says that all sins are equal. Everything is all the same thing. That's crazy. So you're saying me?
I don't think it is.
Me
because-
lying and me killing you is the same thing.
There. But
I mean, you're
So
not
why
gonna
we
get a
don't
life
charge the
sentence
same
for
thing,
lying.
Okay, that's good.
no, you're not gonna get a life. But you can do a lot of time.
yeah, you could do time for
You can do a lot of time.
Yeah, you can do time. What if cause why do you feel like you're a good person? Is it like stuff you do? Is it like you just feel like you're a good guy, you have a good heart? What is
Yeah,
what
I
is
just feel like I have a good heart.
you got a good heart?
Yeah.
So you
Like
never
do you
beat the nobody before?
do you do anything good in your life though? Do you feel like you have any like maybe you fed the poor, maybe you
Oh yeah.
What if I went to the courtroom and was like, yo, I fed the poor. Yo,
They're not going.
so watch this. Just check this out. Based off our own merit, if I was a liar, a cheater, a thief, a blasphemer, if I was a adulterer, if I was a jealous, greedy, envious person, right? And I said, yo, I fed the poor though. What would happen to me?
They're gonna be like, yo, go ahead, bro.
Keep feeding the poor.
Go ahead, but
That's what they gonna tell you.
what if I said, but I go to church sometimes?
Go ahead, bro.
They're gonna put you
They ain't
on
gonna
the
just keep saying, go ahead, like, go
It
ahead.
don't matter. They're gonna be like, we got church in jail too.
My hands behind
We
your
got
back.
church in it too.
sideboard.
So the reality is, if you commit a crime, you gotta justice has to be served, regardless
You have
if
to pay for your
you're
repercussions.
if you've done good things. You still have to pay a time.
In this life,
Yeah.
So you think you're a good person?
I'm pretty decent. I'm not perfect. I'm pretty
Yeah,
decent.
not perfect.
So what does not perfect mean? That you make bad choices sometimes?
Yeah, I made stupid choices.
Oh yeah.
Bad decisions. You made some bad decisions
yeah,
in your
because
life.
I was just like, I don't want to listen to it. I want to see for myself what would happen.
That's exactly what I mean.
That's and I think that like
So check this out. Let's say you came across someone like me. I'm a liar, a cheater, a thief, disobedient to my parents. All these things have been attached to my name. What would you say I was? A good or bad person?
I'm like, bro, you need help.
Some beliefs say, if, like you said you're going to heaven because you pray, right? And you pray every day, you talk to God. They believe that if you, pray a certain amount of times a day and your goods outweigh your bad, then, you'll be accepted into heaven. But in your personal life, would you feel like your bads outweigh your goods or your goods outweigh the bad?
My bads taught me a lot about myself to do good.
But in your life, would you say your bads outweigh your good or your goods outweigh your bad?
Cause I made a lot of mistakes, but I also so it's like 50-50.
You feel like you would have more good things in your life than you've done bad.
Absolutely.
How many times have you lied before? I'm asking. You can't count? And you have the rest of your life to not be able to count how many lies you tell. So if you've told, let's say you've told over 1,000 lies already, right?
Mhm.
And you could probably say probably more than that.
All right, yeah.
Have you done more good than just simply lying
Nah.
1,000 times and just that's an estimate?
I've done a lot of positive things.
But again, the Bible says that no one's good, and those good works that are positive are filthy rags.
They don't say that, bro. What
It does.
It does?
It's your filthy work. Your good works like filthy rags.
does that mean?
What does that mean? You know what's crazy?
What does that mean?
Before we get to that, let's talk about another faith. Another faith says, basically, if you you extinguish your desire for things to where you don't want or desire anything in life, and your goal is to just elevate to a certain place of purity in your mind where you literally have no more desire to do wrong. Would you guys feel like you have peace with that?
yeah, because that's consecrating yourself. That's
Also, you've gotten to a place where you don't think about any wrong thing.
no, that's not.
It's impossible.
I'm not saying for me.
You think that's impossible though? I think that's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah.
You think that's impossible to get to a place where you don't
Yeah.
have no wrong desires? Like you
Yeah,
just,
then you're just a robot.
like you just pure. You feel like you're ever gonna get to a place where
You would
just pure?
have to isolate yourself, I feel like, and you would need to live like a minimal lifestyle so
Mhm.
that you're not around things that's gonna make you, bad things.
Right. Is that? But
Yeah,
is
if you're
that?
by yourself in like an island, let's just say, how many wrong things can you really do?
Yo, they say that if you're for 3 days, if you don't talk to nobody, you can go insane.
Yeah.
That's
so I feel
science.
like you're, I
It's
feel
got
like if
going
you're
to the
by
box.
yourself,
So it's like
isolated-
slavery.
If you're isolated, bro, something's gonna start attacking your mind.
Mhm.
Back
You
to
know
the
what I mean?
money, that's
Something's
crazy.
definitely gonna
Negative or
start attacking your
positive?
mind, and you're gonna have all these crazy thoughts. You're
And then
obviously
you don't have
isolated,
things
you're
like
gonna be alone.
family and friends. So would you say that you have peace with that?
No.
Or could you even do that?
No,
It's
Be by
impossible.
Myself, be by myself for 3
I
days
actually have a
straight.
family member that's going through that. Well, went through that. He believed in something happened to him, and he didn't want to tell us. So like basically, he blocked us all, like not answering our calls. It came to the point that I called his mom.
It's like a coping thing.
Open his door, like he just stays in the room, and just stick to himself, don't talk to nobody, and just try to fix it himself, which is wrong, I think, because like I feel like you can't fix things by yourself.
Right.
So like, it was kind of hard. And then when he kind of like he got over it, because he's like in a big deep depression for like 2 years straight.
Mhm.
So as he got over it, and I talked to him about it, he just be like, "Yo, I regret not talking to nobody."
So it's safe to say that we need help.
of course.
yeah,
We need, clearly obvious that there's something wrong with us, that we do bad things. And when I think about it, check this out. Like when I think about like the issue of sin and our own issues and our thinking and our own problems, like we technically, if our creator is saying there's no good person, our hearts are evil, then our good works are like filthy rags. And you said, what does that mean? Check this out. So Jesus did realize that it's not about an outward issue, right? It was something on the inside that was wrong. So I could easily put this North Face on you, these nice Adidas pants make you look fly. But if you stink and you ain't showering like 10 days, what's gonna happen to this fit? It's gonna get dirty.
It's gonna look bad.
It's gonna look, you're gonna
sort
stink.
yeah,
Jesus saying that his good works are like filthy rags. Basically saying like, because something wrong with you on the inside, it's not just
still
saying
gonna
I'm gonna
carry
put
over.
this beautiful silk cloak on you. It's I'm fixing something on the inside of you. So when I give you the cloak don't get messed up. So because you're dirty, everything you do is dirty. You know what I'm saying? So that's why your good works like
So
filthy
it
rags,
just
because
has
our
to-
motives are wrong.
It does that kind of like symbolize that it still has to start within yourself.
Start within yourself.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
absolutely.
desire to, again,
Because you can't cover up something.
which
that's
goes back to how do
dirt
you
on.
receive
Yeah.
Jesus? It's like, you think about what Jesus did, you're saying that he wiped it all away. It's like, not only is that a miracle or miraculous, but it's like, when you're in a court, I guess if you're guilty, if someone stands in your place, you're free to go. It's like literally the guilt or the price was paid for.
Exactly.
Like, and it makes sense, but it goes back into truth, right? So we're faced with this issue of sin. We're faced with the fact that all of us in here are not perfect. We all, because no one in here can act like we don't do no wrong things. Like, all of us in here, we've done some bad things, and we're realistically, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe a year from now, may make a bad decision and end up in some trouble. But it's like, because we have Jesus that saved us, that wiped away our sin, we are counted as blameless. Even when we do fall. Not saying like we willfully do it, like we're gonna just go do wrong just for no reason, but recognizing, hey, like, Jesus died for me. Like, for example, if Conrad was your son, right? And you took him out for vacation at this beach house, and you said, son, listen, don't go out into the water because there's sharks out there, they're gonna kill you. And him being a child and curious,
You wanna go.
he goes out there, plays with the sharks, right? Dad, I'm dying. You run out there, and I mean, you beat up them sharks. You mauled them sharks. They bit you up. They got you real bloody. Your blood was everywhere. Your blood was everywhere. But your son got saved, right? Let's say you made it back to shore. Your son made it back to shore, and you were sitting over there just wounded, bloody, and you saw your son get right back up and go back into that water. What would you say about your son? It'd be safe to say he don't really love you.
He don't learn.
He didn't learn nothing.
He didn't learn nothing.
And it's safe to say he really doesn't value what you did.
What you- yeah.
And I think that,
That's how
again,
it is.
it applies back to Jesus. Like, he
Oh,
died for us.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like what makes us, in a sense, want to repent or change our behavior or change our lifestyles is because, like, dang, yo, like, you did that for me. Like, I value the sacrifice you just made. You put your life on the line for me. So the right response, not a forced response or a rule book response, would be, well, then let me honor you. Let me honor that. And let me not go back into what you told me not to do, in a sense. But then again, so back to the topic of truth. So we're saying that Jesus died for our sins. Jesus wiped away everything. Jesus is God. Jesus is the answer to heaven. Jesus is the key to heaven. Is that the truth, or is that one truth? Is that
That's one truth. That's honestly, I think that's one truth.
is one truth? So there's another truth.
Of course. think that's
In other people's eyes,
that what I believe that's the
So
only truth.
that's the only truth.
yeah, in my eyes, that's the only truth. But in other people's eyes,
So does that mean
It's
if we
it's
didn't have
multiple.
God, this wouldn't be a safe place to live in?
It's
I
not.
don't think it's.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is that the truth, or is there another truth?
I like we said, like other people in other people's eyes. Like
So back to the conversation we had about truth. So if in someone else's eyes something is true but it's wrong, what does that mean? So when you say your truth is like if you're saying Jesus is the only way, you're saying everybody else's way is wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Nah,
and then go back to the atheist people.
Why not?
because it goes back to like atheist people.
What about them? Say I know.
Like, they don't believe in God,
Mhm.
but they believe they don't believe in. They just believe in a higher power. They just don't believe in
No,
God.
they don't believe in a God.
So they believe in a higher power.
Not even.
What's a higher
They
power?
believe in
That's
science.
They
a
believe science.
Science.
They believe about the Big Bang Theory.
That's science, that's very.
which is interesting. Did you know that science says matter can neither be created nor destroyed?
Definitely.
But there was something created for this earth to come. So if there was a creation,
So
there had to be something outside of space and time for that matter to be created. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. So,
that's God.
so something can't come from nothing. So something had to happen. So science says it's the
For the
Big Bang,
science to
but
work,
then that would
for
go
it to
against
even-
science's rule of matter is neither created nor destroyed. So if an explosion is, in a sense, it has to start from something. An explosion can't come from nothing. So,
Aliens.
So in order for there to be creation, it had to be somebody had to be outside of space and time. Somebody who is infinite, and who is infinite, God. So technically, science doesn't disprove God. It proves how God did the whole thing. But back to the conversation of truth. So you believe that Jesus is the way to heaven.
my opinion, yes.
Your opinion,
Well, yes.
So is it
That's
the
how I
truth
feel.
or just your opinion?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
based off what?
Experience.
Okay. And you believe that Jesus is the only way, based off what?
Experience.
Experience. What do you believe? You believe that he's the only way, or is he just one way, and everybody can have their own truth?
I feel like you could be a good person and not know what Jesus really is. So like,
Oh, who?
yeah, and then I feel like you can still go to heaven as that, cause like you're not doing no wrong.
Okay.
It's just the fact that, like for example, I would say I'm a good person too, but like, I don't consistently like go to church or believe in
Yeah,
God. But at the same
that's what I'm
time, it's
saying.
like
You do
I'm
good
not
things.
doing a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
Like I'm
So
not, out
check this
here-
out. If I'm so is ignorance to the law an excuse to get out of the courtroom?
Nope.
Is ignorance to, I guess, in a sense, God an excuse to get out of accountability in a sense?
People
Like-
have used it and it works sometimes.
To say that
but-
they don't know God. You know what's crazy? The Bible says that everybody believes. They just choose to suppress the truth.
His name was-
And it reminds me of what you said, like sometimes people run from the truth because it means that if this is true, then I have to face something. And the thing is that something, in a sense, that Jesus is the way, isn't nothing of fear. It's, wait a minute, thank you. You mean to tell me that I'm a bad person? I technically deserve hell. By all of our merit, we technically all deserve hell. And you're telling me somebody decided that they loved me so much that they were going to take what I deserved and gave me mercy instead, and then said, because what Jesus, in a sense, did was he restored communication for us and God. Like the reason why we were able to pray. He literally, like you said, wiped away our sin or the guilt of sin. Like then he said, there's no condemnation for those who are in me, as in, you don't even have to be held. Like you're not blamed for that. Like I'm not going to look at you for your sin. I'm not going to remind you of your sin.
So why
It's
do
like
we do
when,
that as humans?
so it's like when people, exactly. So it's like when people, in a sense, if they reject God, they're technically rejecting love. Like, if anything, like God didn't ask for anything because we
You
can't
don't-
give it to him.
We don't owe him nothing.
Well, we do owe him something. If he died for us, we do
He
owe him
don't owe you
something.
nothing.
He don't owe us
That's
nothing.
what I mean. That's what I meant to say. My
Yeah,
fault.
he don't own us, and that's the
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
part. He's God, and then on top of that, we all looked at our resume. We done some crazy things. We broke his rule. We broke his law, and it's like you don't have to break many laws to be guilty. If you break one law, it's a dub. You break one law, you technically it's enough for a punishment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that we broke his law. He doesn't owe us anything. We don't deserve anything because again we do bad. We go against him in a sense, and it's like he saw fit to say, "But I'm gonna die for you," and all you have to do is simply believe in that, and you will be saved. But then it goes back to, again, truth. So you saying that you believe that Jesus died on the cross for you and he died to save you from hell and from your sin, to cleanse you, to bring you to heaven, right?
Correct.
But you said there's another way. So if you say there's another way, you didn't say that, but you said there's another way. If you say there's another way, or you say there's another way, you're basically saying Jesus is a liar.
I don't think Jesus is a liar.
But Jesus said,
some people don't
Jesus
know.
said,
I don't think Jesus is a liar.
He's saying some people don't know who he is, but by their good deeds on this earth, that could get them into heaven.
So the Bible also says that no one has an excuse for ignorance. You can look around and know that there's something greater, there's something higher, there is a God, there is a creator. This is what the Bible says.
Yeah.
And I think that's legitimate. You can look around and say, yo, it's safe to say that something created
Best
us.
creation ever.
So, but again, so when you we have if we have a truth that there's a higher being, a God, a creator, whatever we choose to call him, right? And the God of the Bible, he has a name. He identifies as Jesus. So it's like, so people who don't believe in Jesus, right? Let's say they believe in this higher being. If there is a higher being, that means there's a standard. That means there's a purpose. That means there's a design. So if there's all those things matching up with good and evil, design, purpose, origin, all that, it all lines up back to we not doing what he said to do. And the only person that kind of steps in and takes care of that, because we all realize in and of ourselves we can't stop doing bad. So if all these other beliefs are telling us you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and we realize we can't, or we won't be able to, but Jesus is saying you don't have to do anything. I'm dying for you because you can't do it, and because I love you so much. So it's like he's like, I'm a good judge, so justice has to be served, but I love you. So it's like a dilemma. It's like I love you, but I'm a judge. So justice has to be.
He's teaching you.
So justice has to be served, as in there's a punishment for it.
Yeah.
But I love you. So what did a good judge and a loving God do with bad people? He sent himself down.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was perfect enough to take the price for us. If he was guilty, it'd be like a guilty person trying to think, like, what's the point? Nothing got.
Gonna happen.
But a perfect person came down for imperfect people and said, you guys can't be perfect. Y'all never gonna get to a place where y'all just holier than thou. We're not gonna do it. We grow, we learn,
Because that means we'll be better than him.
in a sense, but that's impossible.
Yeah,
Because we can't. And but there are also some beliefs who say we can get to a place of perfection in a sense of purity where we elevate to that place where we literally become one with the universe.
No. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you that. Now, how do you classify it as being perfect?
Is it possible to be perfect? We all just established we're imperfect people.
Because your perfect could be something completely different. Your perfect could be, like I said, just going to school.
So it goes back to truth. So what is true?
Truth is being.
Truth is a foundation of truth. But what I'm saying is, because based on what you said that you said you believe in that Jesus is the only way to heaven. But you said based off other people's truth, well, not so much. But if you say that, that means you're saying Jesus is a liar.
No. Jesus is not a liar.
I know you don't think that, but I'm saying that's what you're saying though.
No.
So is what you believe true?
He's like, no.
Is what you believe true? Is what you believe true?
Yes.
Check this out. What I believe that Jesus did die on the cross for me.
Yeah, I believe that too.
And I believe that Jesus is the only way. Why do I say that? Because we're faced with an issue of sin. We're faced with an issue we're going against his design and his punishment for that. And everything that's been placed before us shows that there's no cure for our issues. Because God is love, he has to give us a choice. If you remove choice from somebody, they technically don't love you. And if he was to step in and stop you from killing somebody, he will remove you of your choice, and then he wouldn't be loving you.
Exactly.
Based off the text and based off scripture, that he is the only way to heaven, to God. And to receive that truth, you have to believe in him, to believe that he died for us, to believe that he died for our sins, so that we would be saved, so that we would be able to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And we came back to you saying, we were talking about just, is that the truth or multiple truths? And you said that it's your truth, but based off other people's beliefs, is not the only truth. But what we concluded in the beginning was everything does come down to one truth. Regardless of what people think, regardless of what they experienced, it is the truth based off what we, came up with. So in this case, what makes you say that Jesus saying that he is the only way, and that's, for you, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But then saying, but there's also other ways.
Experiences, bro. That's the best answer I can give you. It's just off experience.
That there's that. So based off your experience, it leaves room for other truth.
Yeah, in a way. For other people, yeah. Like, it's just
So Jesus is a liar.
no, man. She ain't no liar.
I'm asking you based on what you telling me. You're telling me because of what other people go through, Jesus fraud. Like he lying.
Nah, but
People just don't know.
But due to the fact of what things that people go through, they be like, yo, why is Jesus doing this to me?
It's like when you go through something hard, but like it doesn't seem like Jesus is around.
Right. You don't think God is with you.
Exactly.
And so they
Okay.
start to
You
believe
kind of
like,
have to
and,
start believing in your
and
own
sometimes like
words,
they try their best like to do good and bad things, negativity keeps coming
So a
back.
lack of faith or a lack of understanding of faith, does it threaten the truth or does the truth still remain truth?
That
So
question.
watch this. So just because I don't think God is with me, does that mean God's not with me?
No.
So it doesn't. So my belief or my experience or my not really solid understanding of the truth, does that threaten the fact that it's still true? God is with me, but I just don't believe it. No, it doesn't. I don't think our feelings or our experiences threaten the truth or change the truth.
Nah, the truth is always going to be the truth,
Truth.
but there are other things. Sometimes
like
you put
people
aside the truth just to accept the fact that this is it. Like,
It's just accepting of the truth. That's the thing. So it's like
So in that case, what would that look like? You're saying accepting of the truth. What would that look like?
face reality.
Okay, so reality for me, reality for him. Is that reality for you that Jesus is the only way?
I mean, I'm definitely sure that there's other way. Jesus.
You said you're definitely sure.
See? This is
Okay.
I'm
No, I understand. So
Which is not a problem.
So now, and also, does us saying that Jesus is the only way threaten other people's truth, or if there is another truth?
No, because people gonna believe what they want to believe.
But it threatens
And also, remember when it comes to Jesus, based off the scripture, it's you guys familiar with the term the gospel?
Mhm.
You know what it means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
So for example, you go to church, they tell you the gospel. Is that what you're talking about?
What is it?
Good news.
The good news. So
It doesn't
That's
have to
what
be
it is,
good
good
in
news?
a way. It's just I feel like it's a preach that has to be sent out so that people learn their lessons and they don't have to go through the struggle or the experience. Because once you hear from somebody that's like, for example, yo, this happened to me, I'm not gonna do the same exact thing because that happened to you.
so
some
the
people
gospel.
like to see that risk though.
But talking about, so the gospel is not
It's like a
learning
guide. The
lessons and then
gospel is a
avoiding
guide.
struggles.
I mean, not really avoiding struggles, but like it does give you like a point of view from somebody else.
So check this out. What's the truth? Is that the truth? Or should we look at what the word, the gospel, means? The word, the gospel, isn't like a theme. It isn't a genre. It isn't a category. It literally means good news. That's just what the word means. The word it means good news, but what is that good news?
That's what I'm saying. Cause I'll be like, yo, I just shot him, and they be like, oh, that's good news. I'm glad you handled that. That's good news to some people.
But is it really good news?
No, it's not.
It's not.
So, but when you think about the gospel, is it really good news? So the gospel is the fact that Jesus died on the cross for our sins and saved us from hell. That's really good news.
That's great news.
I'm gassed. But that's really good news. So it's like, so the gospel being a truth, that doesn't threaten people. Like sometimes people like will say, oh, when people say Jesus is the only way, you're judging me. Or you're hating me, or it's threatening. What is threatening about the fact that God saw fit to die for you because you couldn't do
Where he,
or please him the way he needs to be honored or pleased? I think that's really good news. And it's like people like somebody painted an illustration to me like, yo, when people reject God, they're literally saying, can you stop trying to love me, please? Like, I don't want your love. It's strange. It's like,
that's like a baby trying
I
to
don't
learn his
need
own.
help.
That's
But
like
I
a
feel
baby trying to learn on his own.
people that say that never felt like
Loved.
Exactly.
So it's like,
So you don't want to.
So they don't even know what it is,
because
'cause-
But then that
never
comes to
happened
like a,
you.
or you're
mental-
vulnerable in a
So,
sense.
that becomes
Exactly.
a mental issue at that point.
You're scared to accept it.
Because it's just like I suppose.
So there's fear in it. Fear in accepting the
It has
fact
to be
that someone
fear.
loves me that much. Or also knowing that what that calls for. If somebody really loved me so much that they die for me, that it demands a response.
Yeah.
Like it does, you can't just be like, all right, cool. Like
You have to respect that.
yeah, and like what you said, like some people literally don't accept the truth because of fear of what they have to face. And the Bible literally says people don't accept the truth because, well, they not because, but they suppress the truth because of what they have to face. And it's like, I can see that. And I can see somebody that never experienced love before, or maybe had been lied to before about God, and be like, yo, I can't receive that. But the thing is, does what again, their experience about what they've been told by God, how God has been misconstrued in their lives, does that threaten the real truth of the good news of Christ? Like he said, you know, it's who would want to go to hell? And literally something God always mentions is he doesn't send people to hell, nor would he want to send people to hell. People choose hell. And it's that thing that, again, the Bible says no one has that excuse that they're really truly ignorant to the truth because he pursues everybody. And literally, imagine going to heaven and God showing you every time he pursued you. When somebody walked in and be like, hey, bro, you want to come to church with me? Hey, bro, hey, yo, bro, the good news. Or, hey, yo, did you watch our video? And we face to face was like, oh, shoot, like, I just peeped. God was trying to get my attention this whole entire time. That I would, if I was somebody who was running from God and I saw that video, by the first time I was like, all right, God, turn it off. I already know the rest of them. If you tell me that's how you were pursuing me, I already know. I remember so and so at school. I remember so and so at my work. I remember so and so. Like I remember my old head, my OG was trying to get my like. It's like, yo, he's constantly trying to get your attention. But it's like, again, hell is not like an incentive based like, it's either you turn to me or you're gonna burn in hell. But it's like, yo, like I get a chance to be saved from this. And it's like, think about a punishment. A punishment, literally, if you commit a crime on earth, you have to pay a price. But imagine committing a crime against Almighty God. Literally the God of everything, the person that gives you breath to breathe. We've all agreed that there's an issue with us and that we call it sin. Sin is our issue. So if sin is an issue, we need forgiveness of our sin. And the only person that takes care of that is Jesus. Nobody else takes care of the fact that we are sinful. And there is either heaven or hell. And instead of casting us out, he gives us an opportunity and an invitation in. And that to me is like, it is good news. And it's one of those things where it's not even, not to me, I don't like to say it's the truth to me because I believe it is the truth. If there's a God, that God has a standard. That means if there's a standard, there's a rule, there's a law, there's some type of structure. For something to have a purpose, that means it has to abide by these things. That tripod has to stand on those legs. If it doesn't, it's what? It's useless. It's pointless. That means it doesn't serve its purpose. And we realize that we can't ever be good because God says no one's good. Our hearts are evil. You know what's crazy? Some people go, yo, Al, I have a good heart. You said you had a good heart, right? You believe that, right? You said you have a good heart. You believe that?
Who?
Yo, you said you believe I have a good heart. It's okay.
Hard.
Have a good heart.
Oh, yeah. I just
So-
said something. Yeah,
That's a guard.
Check this out. Check this out. It's all your, and we all brothers in here, right? Let's say we pulled down a projector and we played your thoughts and everything that's been going on in your heart and in your mind just this month alone. Will we be able to look at that and then look at you and not feel like uncomfortable? Will we be able to see everything you thought about and everything that's been on your heart just this month alone? From the morning and the middle of the night, then late at night.
This
Can
man had a good one.
Yo, you'll be like, yo, he's.
Me personally, bro, we would have shut off the cameras. We would have shut that down too. If y'all seen my thoughts, just for this week.
If you see my thoughts for this month, you'll be like, yo, I'm so confused.
I'm like, wait.
What is going on
Yeah, I
here?
think about everything.
But that's even in the Bible too. It says, you know, the Lord, he searches your thoughts. God
Yeah.
searches your thoughts, and even as Christians, there in that point of our lives and in that part of our body, we even have to change that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Our thinking, and it's hard, man. It's hard
Yeah.
being a Christian. It really is.
And it's crazy
hard.
because the thing about Jesus is he doesn't expect you to change it. That's his job. Like he literally said he's gonna do all that. He's gonna transform your mind, all that, your thinking, all that. And what's crazy is we can definitely say we all don't know how to get our thoughts under control. Like it's a dub. And
It takes time.
exactly. Conrad said this was so dope. He said he would let people watch it. He would let people watch his thoughts and all that. He said because he wants to see how humans respond to humans being human.
Yo, you know what's crazy? It's crazy you said that because Kid Cudi said the same thing.
That's
He
my
was-
man, bro.
That's crazy,
he
right,
was like,
though?
He was like, yo, honestly, if I was to play my thoughts on like a projector, he was like, you would probably commit suicide trying to understand my thoughts.
Yeah.
Wow.
And try to break everything down because I'm so complex and I don't understand myself.
That's crazy because the Bible literally says your heart is who can trust it. It's so deceiving. It literally you don't know it. It just
It just goes.
it's always going. And it's like what's crazy is we're so quick to judge each other's hearts and minds and our thoughts. And it's like, yo, we all got crazy thoughts.
Right.
Even motives, bro. Like you ever look at somebody and be like, yo, why I just think that I didn't mean to do that. But it's like you can't. So it just shows there's something inside of us that's
Very
wrong.
incisive, that's what it is.
Yes, and it's just, but it goes back to this thing that it's something about us that's wrong, and then goes back to again, it's like God saying, "Yo, there's nothing you can even do to try to be good." Like, could you imagine? Like, again, so if you look at somebody with anger, that's murder in your heart. You look at someone with lust, That's adultery. It's like, so there's obviously,
So what if you look at somebody with love?
well, so that goes into God's commandment.
That's a beautiful soul.
He said what? There's two things God asks us to do, first and foremost. The two most important things, he said, love me and love others like you love yourself. So when you love, you're actually doing what you were called to do. That's our original purpose, is to
How do you
love
know
God.
if you love yourself?
You have to love God first. Once you love God, in a sense, you're loving yourself. You're doing yourself a favor. You're getting your soul saved. That's the first way to love yourself. Get salvation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Secure rest for your soul. One, but then also what comes with that is becoming to know who you are, your identity. You get safety from that. Like, what controls our anxious thoughts? What controls our worries and fears? It's the fact that we have God. You know, like when things we don't have control, we can trust that God has a plan. God has a purpose. God gives us free will, yes. But the fact that literally when we give him control, he can take control. He can intervene. He can, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what literally, if we didn't have God, honestly, bro, like me personally, I know I would be in an insane asylum. My thoughts would have took me to places, like even just in like the decisions I've made, the emotional traumas I've been through, like without the truth of God or his truths that I've applied to my life, I don't know where I would be. So it's like, that's why I say, and I'm secure in what I say, I do believe that Jesus is God and Jesus is the way. And I don't say that like as in a threatening way, because it's not a threatening way. It's a good news. It's like, yo, you need to know this. Like, take the weight off of you trying to be perfect. Take the weight off of you trying to work your way to God or work your way to heaven or be this good person, because you can't. And it's not me saying that to give you an excuse, but it's literally saying, no, somebody literally stood in your place. Somebody literally said, yo, listen, you can't do that. And because I love you, I know that. And to put an unnecessary burden on you to say, come on, be good, be perfect, do this, pray this many times. That's a burden, yo. It'd be too hard.
You would have so much to think about.
So much to think about.
So
You know what I'm
much.
saying? And the fact that God saw that and said, yo, justice has to be served because I'm a judge. He, like the Bible says, God is just. That means justice has to be served. He can't excuse the sin. And he didn't. He literally took himself, put himself in our place. So justice was served. And he was able to love us too. Like it's such a beautiful story that it truly, like the gospel is so unique because Jesus is saying, no, I am the only way. There is no other way. And again, people look at that like, what you mean? Damn, you coming against why? It's like, yo, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. So if how it's really supposed to go is, I don't have to look nowhere else. He's made it very clear. If I just literally invite him into my life, I get the security I need, not only here, but when I go home. I don't have to lay on a hospital bed and be like, where do I go? Was I good enough? Or did I pick the right belief? It's like, nah, like Jesus made it clear that he was God from the beginning and he's the only way. And he, not only, watch this, he doesn't just say it, but he demonstrated it. While he was here, he performed miracles. He literally did things that no one's ever seen before. You know what's crazy? Watch this. Muslims believe in Jesus. Most religions believe in Jesus, right? Watch this. Check this out. Check this out. Me too. A little bit of most of the fundamental things of it. So watch this. They don't believe that he's the son of God, right?
Yeah.
Mary, they also believe that Mary did conceive Jesus, right? They believe that as a virgin, right? Check this out. Science says that it's the father's blood that starts the process of a baby. So if that's the case, and if it's mostly the father's blood that begins that process, and it's nothing to do with the mother's blood. So if it is the father's blood that starts the process of a child, and Jesus was Mary's son, who would be Jesus' father? God.
Yeah, I would say. I
that goes-
was thinking too deep. I was like, wait a
So
minute.
it goes.
God, right?
So it goes
Like, I didn't
against.
want- I was second guessing myself.
So it kind of goes against one of their fundamental beliefs that he's not the son of God. Science even proves that. Then it's crazy because you go further. They also believe he was on the cross. They don't believe he died on the cross. They believe that he faked his death, and he wasn't. No, that's what it says in the Quran, that he didn't really die, and that's why he was able to get back up, quote unquote, because he was never dead. Science says that because biblically speaking, they said that when he pierced his side, water and blood came out of Jesus, right? Science says in order for that to happen, for water and blood to come out of a human being, they have to be suffocated. But not suffocated in any kind of way like smothered into the mouth, but they have to have their arms stretched out like this. And you know how Jesus died, his arms were stretched out. And he suffocated to death. based off, of course, excruciating pain. He was going through a lot, but literally his arms were stretched out, and that's the only way for water and blood to come out, and that's what the Bible recorded. Water and blood came out of Jesus. So science even proves that Jesus died. And here's the dilemma. If Jesus really died, then that means somebody has to attest to over the hundreds of people who testified to seeing him after the resurrection. And if Jesus got back up from the dead, he proved he was God. And if Jesus proved to be God, that literally puts us face to face with the truth. If Jesus was God, right? It's not a scary thing.
No, it is.
But the Bible says it is scary to some people
scary
because they don't want to believe that. Because if you face it,
No,
that
I believe it, but it's just
watch
still,
this.
it's just
If
so
Jesus is
scary.
God, what does that mean? That means we have to look at ourselves and say, oh, we're sinful. We're going against God. We do things that are wrong. So that's what's scary for some people. It's like, if I believe there's God, that means I have to believe that there is something I have to follow by. There's something I have to comply to. And it's like, you can look at it that way, but that's just not the case. The case is, thank God there's a God, which is hilarious. But it's like, no, let me face this truth because there's a solution to my issue. That's what was the right position to take. But it's like, literally, most religions believe in this guy Jesus. So it's one of the things where if Jesus, which he is, I believe that. I literally believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Jesus is God. And he died on the cross for us because we needed that.
So you saying, it's pretty obvious that God put himself into a human form, into Mary's body, and that's how he was.
So watch this. One of the things that's so interesting about the virgin birth, because we're sinful, one of the things it talks about is because we came from a sinful man. We come from the fallen seed of Adam. So if you come from sin, you are sin. The only way Jesus was able to come into this world as a perfect human being, he had to come from somebody that wasn't from the seed of Adam. He had to come straight from God. If it was two human beings, he would be sinful. So Jesus came as a perfect human being. He had to come. Not only did he come in a unique way, because clearly he proved he was God. When the last time you seen somebody pregnant without a man?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But he came in a unique way, but he had to come in that way straight from God, because if he came from a man, he'd be sinful. He would have the same nature we would have. So that's why that birth was so pivotal. But again, we're faced with that truth. So one of the things that is so important about truth that I see is, I guess, in this generation, because we live in a postmodern time where it's offensive to tell somebody that they're wrong. It's offensive to say, yo, what you believe is wrong. But the reality is, I think it's love. I think to tell somebody the truth is love.
It is.
To sit down with your brother and say, hey, bro, like, let's talk about what you believe. To shun somebody's belief, that's wrong. To not accept somebody's belief,
or it's not even tell them the truth. Like if you don't tell me personally, if you don't tell me the truth,
you're not really my homie.
you're not like
I can't trust you.
that's like even making music, for example. Like if I'm telling you you make music, you're joint booming, but you're not getting nowhere, and I'm just lying to you the whole time. Do I really care about you?
You know what's crazy? Watch this. If I was a doctor, right, and y'all came into my hospital and y'all was really sick, right, and I said, dang, this sickness is so detrimental. Dang, it's gonna really hurt their feelings. Dang, I don't want to scare them. Let me let them just go off thinking everything's okay. What would you call me?
A liar.
A liar, but a bad doctor. A fake doctor, not a real doctor, right? And it's like, it's one of those things where, wouldn't you rather me just tell you the issue? That way I can start prescribing you a medication so maybe you get a resolution to your issue?
Right.
Or what if I was in a burning building, right? And my house was on fire. Would you come up to that building like, hey, Al, don't want to wake you up or anything, but No, you're going to be like, yo!
Your house is on
Get
fire.
out. Matter of fact, if you love me though, you would run in there, and if I was asleep, you would run in there, yank me by my arm, and you would get me out of there. Even if you broke my arm, I'd be like, bro, forget that. You saved my life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we preach, I'm in a position where I preach the gospel, right? When we preach these things, or when we talk about the issue of sin, some people take it offensive, like, oh, you're judging me. Yo, if you tell me my house on fire, I'm not gonna be like, yo, you're too loud. I'm like, yo, well, help me get out. If you tell me I need you to tell me I'm sick.
Sick. Yeah.
Tell me there's something wrong with me. Don't let me think everything's okay, because we know the truth. Everything's not okay. We're sinful people. And if we're sinful, that means there's a punishment for our sin. But now that we have an advocate or somebody who's going to stand in our place, tell me about that, bro. Don't let me go through our life thinking that, I could just do this and do that. Not like, yo, if there's a cure for this, because the reality is we know something's off. Reality, forget religion, all that. We know something's off with us. Me personally, bro, something's off with me. I wake up sometimes, I'll be feeling like, what? Why do I think like this? Why do I move like this? I hate the things I do sometimes.
Everybody has a loose screw.
We all got loose screws. So it's like, we get this idea that, you know, don't come in my life telling me about myself because now you're judging me, you're hurting my feelings, you're offending me. But it's like, nah, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And now, do people go about it the wrong way sometimes? Yeah. Do people have wrong approaches? Yeah. Again, so if I love you, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to welcome you into my space. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to see where you come from because you do have real life experiences. You have a real life upbringing. You have real life cultures and things that have impacted your life. So I'm not going to neglect that. Those are important. But those things don't threaten the truth or take away from the truth. You know what I'm saying?
That's where people get Christians confused. I feel like a lot of people think Christians are like, oh, we're in your face, like you better get saved or you're going to hell, like this and that. When in all actuality, it's like what we're doing right now. We're sitting down and we're having a discussion and explaining. It's not I'm gonna force Jesus on you. It's not like that. With true Christians, this is exactly how it is. We're chilling, we're hanging out, we're all from different backgrounds. This is what being a Christian is. It's not, I'm going to force this on you, this subject and whatever.
It's not love no more.
If you don't want it, you're going to hell, bro. That's it.
It's like
nah,
looking at
man,
highway or
I love
highway.
you. I'm going to show you what I know is true. I'm going to show you that. And whether you want to take that or not, that's your decision. And I won't judge you for that. That's what being a Christian is. You know what I mean? And a lot of people get that twisted, you know, and it's sad, you know, that certain Christians, so-called Christians, give us a bad rep, you know what I mean? And that's what's going on in this world, you know what I mean? People will be so quick to look at, you know, the person screaming at you on the streets, but then won't even step foot in a decent church, you know what I mean? To see, man, let me maybe see what this is about. You know what I mean? Let me see what this is about. And you be the judge, you know what I mean? You're gonna have pastors, you're gonna have people in churches that aren't, you know, doing what they're supposed to be doing and aren't serving how they're supposed to be serving. But I guarantee you will find that one place that you're going to feel welcomed. You're going to know that that's the place for you. And I guarantee that that's going to lead you to a beautiful relationship with God. And that's how it went for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it went for you like that too, you know? So.
And I think that's what it all comes out. It all comes down to the relationship. And I think sometimes that's misunderstood about God. Like God wants relationship with us. And I think
that's all it is.
we look at it in these you know, like in a way of like, oh, you know, again, like this forceful thing. No, it's really coming from a place of I love you. And it literally puts it in a place where it's like, well, dang, like you did this for me. Like I love you too. Like the Bible literally says God died for us while we were sinners, not while we were clean, not when we were like being good. He died for us because we were bad people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like him pursuing us. Literally, for me, how I literally came to face with that, I said, God, like, you keep pursuing me. Like, what is it that you want from me? Like, what can I do? Literally, him not saying, now go do this, now go do that, and I want you to do this, then come back. No, he literally said, son, I just want you to spend time with me. Get to know me. Get in my word. Learn. Like, and it's like, I can do that.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Cause that's one I would say for like on my behalf, like I was very, very afraid of, because I was just like, how do you even go about having that conversation with God?
Right.
And they was like, yo, honestly,
Just
God knows who you are.
Right.
He knows you the most out of anybody. Besides your parents, God is the next person that knows you.
It's the first person probably.
The first person,
Right,
yeah,
you order your parents.
yeah, right. So I'm like, so how do you talk to him? He was just like, yo, talk to him like how you would talk to anybody else. Or
And isn't
like,
that dope?
And I'm just like,
Crazy.
I'm like, word? And he was like, yeah, just talk to him. So I was like, all right. And I just started, like, I feel as if, like, when I'm talking to him, I'm just kicking it with the homie. Like, I'm talking to him, chopping it up with him, expressing how I feel. Right? So I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, hey, God, how you doing? You know what I'm saying, of course, break it down more formally than that, but then after that, I
Because he's
get,
God.
yeah,
Like, he deserves the reverence.
Yeah, exactly. So then after I do all that, I sit down and be like, listen, I ain't really feeling this joint, yo. Right, straight like that. And he'll be like, listen, man, you don't gotta do all that. Like, he'll speak to me mad calm. And I feel it. And I'm just like, yo, it's different. It's very, very different. Like, when you actually sit down and have a conversation with him and, like, just understanding, like, where he's coming from and what he's putting in your life, it's just mostly, like, a test.
He's for you.
Like, it's just for the better of you. It's just, like, he wants to bring the best out of you as he possibly can.
Yeah. And that's like one of my favorite parts. It's like God's not like, oh, I'm just trying to save you. He's like, yo, now that you believe in me, I want you to join me and do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gives you a purpose. He gives you like literally a reason to live. Like, and it's dope because again, it's like we don't deserve it. Like he's giving you gifts, he's giving you talents. He's literally like, and then again, and talks to you and says, yo, I have a plan for you. Like me? And mind you, I can speak for myself. I'm somebody who blatantly disrespected God, like openly disrespected God. And still sometimes don't get my act together sometimes. And it's like God sees fit to talk to me, have a plan for me. Like it's one of the things where it humbles you and it's like, yo, like God, like how dang you really, really love me. Like you love me. Like,
Yeah.
like it's OD. But it's one of those things where like when it does come down to truth, what I will say about truth, I do believe there's one truth. I think that if we left truth up to everybody, there would be chaos. And I think truth starts with the creator. I think that's just how it is. Like, I can't tell the couch maker how to make a couch. He made this couch. He gets to determine what this couch is called, what the name of this couch is. Like, that's North Face. I can't say that's South Face. Says who? Me. That's not the truth.
It's not.
Why? Because whoever designed this made it to be a North Face, not what Al thinks or what. Like, we can't just leave it up to our own interpretation. We can't. You know what I'm saying? Like even when you read poems, like this, like for who's ever artistic in this room, like you rap, poetry, singing, like even in your outfits, like your clothes, your swag, what you do, your camera. If I look at y'all work and say, that's what I got from that, that means that. That's not true. If y'all in the room, and say, hey bro, like that's dope, but that's what that means. And that's final. I can't tell you what your work meant. You're the creator. You have designed that photo. You wrote that rap. I can't tell you, yo, this is what I got from it, so that's what I think that means. It's like, listen, I respect your opinion, but this is what that means. You know what I'm saying? And so technically, truth is left up to the person who created the world. And if that's the case, again, we're left with God, who, in a sense, if there's a God, there is a design. If there's a design, we have to meet that design, and we don't meet it. And the only person that helps us meet that standard, this literally this whole thing coming full circle, it all comes back to Jesus. But it's like, there's truth in that. That is the truth. He said, I'm the truth, the way, and the life.
That's dope.
Still.
That's mad dope. The truth will set you free.